In April 2026, I visited the Efteling in the Netherlands for the first time, one of the most incredible theme parks in the entire world, and I rode 7 of their 8 currently operating roller coasters. I unfortunately missed out on one of them, but I will still be doing this ranking video because I'm pretty positive that I know exactly where this would end up had I been able to ride it, considering my rankings of other roller coasters with similar ride types to this one. Efteling is an absolutely brilliant theme park with some of the best theming and atmosphere that any park has ever produced. It is just stunning, breathtaking, and an absolute must visit if you are a fan of theme parks in any way whatsoever. This park is the whole package with incredible water rides, dark rides, walk-through attractions, but we're here for the coasters, so this is every roller coaster at Efteling ranked from 8 to 1, worst to best. At number 8 is one of 2 Mock Rides powered coasters that make up Max and Moritz. This is the Max side, or the blue track. These rides are kind of negligible in terms of ride experience itself, as they're basic Mach-powered coasters, but Max versus Moritz does have a few little switches and changes based on what happens around the ride during the ride experience. Both have 2 laps, and something that I had a gripe about with this ride in general is that they don't seem to actually duel, even though they have a dual loading station and they're there together. They go out opposite directions and only pass each other once, so it's kind of a waste in my opinion. But on the Max side, there is one piece of theming throughout the ride where a geyser shoots up out of a little pond in the middle of the ride to spook the riders and get a few of them wet. I found that to be quite entertaining, and also there's some great onboard audio on these rides, although on the Max side I actually did not have any audio working the day I was there, so that's just another detractor for it, but these rides are literally splitting hairs. So the 7th spot goes to Moritz, the other side. This is the green tracked version. Moritz is only slightly different because of its theming element, which I like a little bit more. And it's when you're coming into the station for your 2nd lap, you can see Moritz, the character, jumping on top of a whoopee cushion right above the actual entrance into the station, which is meant to be, I guess, his way of launching you, but you hear a farting sound and it's very silly and goofy. That on its own put it over the top for me. And I believe the Moritz side is slightly faster than the Max side. I'm not really sure. They don't come into the station at the same time. It's a really weird ride. But yeah, that's basically the only difference. They have pretty similar layouts, little helixes and things like that. Pretty negligible, but I did enjoy these rides, even if they're the worst in the park. They are fun. Moritz actually had the onboard audio working, which is a very silly soundtrack from whatever the world of Max and Moritz is, and I was quite entertained by it. So these rides were a ton of fun, but they're the worst at Efteling for sure. At number 6 is Vliegende Hollander, which is a water coaster by the ride manufacturer Kumbach, the only Kumbach roller coaster ever built. Kumbach normally builds just trains for coasters that need to replace their original trains with a new one. But they actually built a whole coaster for this, which is very cool. This is a strange water coaster with dark ride portions and very good theming inside, and then a weird outdoor section with some hills and turns that are very rough and don't really provide anything in terms of forces, but they are entertaining at the very least. And then a drop down into a lake right around where all of the outdoor coasters are. You can see Joris and the Draak, and you can see Python right next to it. It's a very picturesque area. This ride is a little weird, and for those who are American, Vliegende Hollander means the Flying Dutchman. Hollander being a Dutchman, people from Holland, and Vliegende being flying in Dutch as well. But this ride is a ton of fun. Every ride at Efteling is fantastic, so this doesn't mean that I dislike it. It's just it was the least interesting in terms of ride layout for me. The rides above it aren't necessarily better themed, but they did have better ride layouts for me. At number 5 is Vogel Rok, which is an indoor Vekoma MK900. And these rides are always a ton of fun, even if they don't provide many forces whatsoever. For some reason, Efteling has figured out how to make their ride buildings completely pitch black, and it is dark inside of that building that Vogel Rok takes place in. The layout of this coaster is really nothing to shout about, but the darkness inside is fantastic. I love the onboard audio. It is pretty thrilling. It really does feel like you're going deeper and deeper into the ground throughout this ride. You cannot see anything, so it completely distorts your senses and you don't know when you've stopped going down. I think the layout is a pretty circular, like, downward helix that continues to get wider and wider. It just feels like you're dropping forever, and it's a ton of fun, and I love the giant facade of the bird out front. That's honestly, that bird is the main reason that it's higher than Vliegende Hollander. It's just so fucking funny. I am a huge fan of this ride, and one of the best indoor coasters out there just in terms of pure vibes and the feeling of genuinely being in the pitch black darkness and not knowing where you're going. There aren't many coasters like that where you just cannot see anything. It's pretty impressive. At number 4 is a coaster that is one of the most interesting I've ever been on. It is Python, a Vekoma MK 1200, which is essentially a Vekoma looping coaster. This ride has as basic a layout as you could possibly produce for a Vekoma looper. It's just a drop, 2 loops, then 2 corkscrews, and a helix, and it ends. But this ride was fully retracked sometime in the last decade, and it is glossy smooth. It has brand new trains, and it tracks like a dream. It is genuinely like a Disney Vekoma with how smooth it is, but it has that old school track look. It's very enjoyable. It has great forces. It actually, because it's a looper, it feels like it shouldn't be allowed to, but you bring your bags onto this ride, so you can bring all your stuff and just put it at your feet, and you're going through 4 inversions with it in your lap, essentially, which is always exciting. It's a beautiful ride to watch from off-ride. The corkscrews go directly over guest pathways, and you can just stare up at them, which is just something that would never be allowed in the US, considering you're actually taking your bags onto the ride. It's just a fantastic coaster, and it really optimizes an old-school Vekoma layout with how smooth it is. It really does make that layout feel fantastic, and I'm so glad that they refurbished it and retracked it instead of getting rid of it, because it is a classic. It was a huge ride for Efteling's history and putting it on the map for lots of people, so I think it's great. At number 3 is the one coaster at this park that I unfortunately was not able to ride during my visit as it was down for refurbishment, and that is Baron 1898, a B&M dive coaster. The reason I've ranked this ride as highly as I have, despite not riding it, is because I've ridden so many B&M dive coasters over the years, and it is one of my favorite ride models in general in the whole world. Not because I think they're like the best coasters of all time, but because they're consistently fun and they provide consistent forces that you can expect almost every single time. And especially with the older ones with their classic over-the-shoulder hard restraints. All of those give great airtime in the back row because you've just got a ton of space, and they're smooth as all hell. These things are just great machines. They're consistent, smooth, fun, sometimes forceful, and Baron 1898 looks like one of the absolute best in terms of the full package. It has an incredible theme with some great pre-shows, some on-ride theming before the lift hill. The whole facade of the lift hill looking like this drilling machine is just ridiculously cool. I think it's an oil derrick or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but the ride is just beautifully picturesque from off-ride, and it looks like it has some really good elements. An airtime hill in there. It's got the Immelman to 0G roll combo. I love 0G rolls on dive coasters. They're always just so interesting. On whatever seat you're in, you always get a different experience because you're so far away from the center of the track that if you're in the middle, it's really heartlined, and if you're on the outside, it's crazy whippy. They're so much fun, and this thing looks like one of the best of the mini dive coasters in terms of having the old school restraints while, you know, still having that mini, like, smoothness to it. I'm really sad that I didn't get to ride this, but it just gives me another excuse to come back to this park as soon as possible because it is truly one of the best theme parks in the entire world, and Baron looks like one of the best themed high thrill coasters in the world, so I can't wait to get back here and ride this thing, but I'm pretty certain it'll be at least number 3, if not higher. But because I didn't ride it, I can't put it at number 1, so I'm gonna put at number 1 and 2 the 2 rides that I love the most, which are Joris and the Draak, George and the Dragon, both sides of it. At number 2, I have the Fireside, or Voor, which is what you'll see when you're in the park. Joris and Draak is a phenomenal racing wooden roller coaster. Racing, dueling, kind of a little bit of both by GCI. And I love GCI wooden roller coasters. Longtime viewers of this channel will know that I have a soft spot for GCIs at all times, and I will always glaze them, love them for something. Even if it's like the worst GCI, I'm still gonna have a soft spot for it. And this is not one of the worst GCIs. This thing has some great forces, really, really good airtime and laterals. It has a tiny bit of Titan track on one of its turnarounds, and I really don't like that. I don't love seeing Titan track pop onto these wooden coasters. I'm becoming more and more of a wooden coaster lover, and seeing Titan track or RMC track get put onto these rides is really a bit upsetting. Despite that, this ride is just wicked fun, wicked smooth. In terms of a wooden coaster, it does still have that snarl that wooden coasters need, and I love the way these rides interact and dance around each other. There's all this funny trick track stuff going on in the final bank into the brake run, and the only reason I have Voor lower than Water, which is my number 1 on this list, is because Voor has, I think, a slightly less interesting layout. Not by much, but Water has this awesome double down that just throws you out of your seat in the back row. Voor does not have that, but it also has tons of good airtime and tons of fun, snappy transitions. I think Voor is just slightly worse because Water is my number 1 coaster at this park. This list kind of got weird at the end where 1 and 2 are the same coaster, but they're not the same coaster. They're 2 credits, dueling coasters. It's not like it's a Mobius loop or something. Water was my favorite coaster in the park for sure. I had the most fun on this ride every time. It gives you a slightly better view of the other train because as you're actually going through the layout, Water ends up behind Voor as you're going towards the final turnaround, and so you get to watch the other train weave in front of you. If you're on the Voor train, you don't really get to see the Water train for a lot of the layout, so it feels like more of a race and like you're catching up with the other train on the Water side. And the forces are almost the same, but there is this fun little outer banked hill as you're heading towards the finish line, and I think both sides have one, but I like the one on Water a little bit more, and it's just a very well done ride. GCI absolutely cooked with this thing, and the racing is actually very, very close every time. I saw both sides win throughout my visit, so it was never a guaranteed win on one side or the other, and I just love these rides. They were so much fun, and I can't wait to just lap the shit out of them next time I'm at Efteling. At some point, I'm sure I will do a ranking of every ride at Efteling because the coasters are not the superstars here. The dark rides at this park are genuinely phenomenal, and you need to go and ride them all because they're just pieces of art, and I love them so much. But that is every roller coaster at Efteling, ranked from 8 to 1 from worst to best. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in this video, Efteling was an absolutely insane experience for me. I'm so glad that I got to do it. I just took it on by myself, took 2 days there, and really felt like I got all the time that I needed and rode everything. I rode literally everything in the park outside of a few flat rides. So fantastic experience there, and everyone who loves theme parks or even likes them, or honestly if you don't even like them, you should go to Efteling. It is worth your time and one of the best experiences, themed or not, out there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of my rankings in the comments. Be as mean as you want. Make fun of me for not actually riding Baron and putting it on the list anyway. I don't give a shit. Just say whatever you feel like, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.